Tombo för den Oscar, and I have this morning been drawing something that's going to be a bigger project, so to say. I have never finished a full art piece before, so this is a little bit out of my comfort zone in a sense, but it is planning on this being a gift for a friend, and will probably be in watercolor. So I just gotta test out a little bit, and that's why I brought it now, just to sketch a little bit and just talk with you and relax out here in nature. Just wish there was an easier way for me to show you the art at the same time as I am speaking, but you'll have to bear with me just sitting here talking to you and sometimes just showing you the sketchbook. So I hope that's okay. So, just to give you a quick rundown of what the project is about. It's drawing a dog a friend had 15 years ago, and she just asked if I could do it, and I just figured that sounds like it would be very fun to. It would be an honor to do it in a sense. So that's why I really want to try. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it well, but sort of what made me realize, like what came to my realization is that I have felt perfectionistic about art for as long as I've done art. There have been times where I have felt more free, but it's always for like the same time that you know the feeling of getting in the zone, kind of, when you're focusing on something and suddenly an hour may fly by. Those are the only times where I felt like not critical of my own art, not stopping myself like midway. And I basically think I realized that if I'm drawing something that means something, like I'm drawing for a purpose, then it goes away a little bit, I think. Because now it's not about, it's strange because it's still about trying to make a nice picture, and I want the picture to not be bad, but now it's more about letting go of the thought that the picture is supposed to be pretty. Now it's more about trying to make the picture have meaning, which might bring in some prettiness, so to say. So that's like, it's gonna be weird trying to watercolor and just noticing when that critical part kicks in again. Like if I'm spilling some um, paint, like for example a red color, and it flows into a part of the painting I didn't want it to. What's how is that gonna affect my mind? Kind of. I can try to put the caps a little bit higher up so you can see me more. We are very close to one of the spots I have recorded at multiple times before, and yeah. So basically, just to give some context on what I'm actually trying to do now, I'm trying to just roughly draft thumbnails for how the layout should be. I've mostly been thinking about trying to paint her as well. So that's it's maybe not even recognizable that there's a dog somewhere. It's very rough. I'm just trying to ease into it in a sense, and I'm also thinking about maybe trying to just have purely the dog, because that would make it easier and that wouldn't make it feel overwhelming for me. I'm not sure if this microphone is picking up a lot of bird sounds. Could be, but I was planning on using the 3DO, but I forgot one of the screws for putting it on the tripod. Sadly, I remembered everything else, but not that. I can envision a lot of these. I can sort of see them in my head, how they should look, but I sorry. But I'm not sure if I can accurately portray it with my skill. That's the problem, kind of. Like, you can see something, and then you try to do it, and it doesn't work. That's sort of related to something I believe a lot of people have a misconception of, kind of. I think, but I'm willing to be wrong here. You know those tests where they ask you what type of apple you can see in your head? Like, how clear is it? After starting art, I am of the belief that people fool themselves into thinking they can see the clear, like the crystal clear apple. Because, in theory, if you could see everything perfectly while closing your eyes, it would be easy to draw and paint, right? But you can just try this if you want. Like, just picture an apple and try to notice where it's red, where it might have a green spot, how dark somewhere, or how the light hits it. If you then try to draw it, I'm not saying you have to draw it perfectly, but draw it very symbolically, kind of like draw a circle and try to wrap a band around. Oh yeah, that might be a better one. Now I am imagining an apple, and it is on one side, it's standing on something, so it's tilted like this. Try to draw a ball, and imagine there's a rubber band around how much it tilts. You might be able to do it. I just missed. Do you see the circle there? Now, even without like adding color or anything, try to just place all the parts of the apple, even like the shading, and you'll see that it's extremely difficult, because I believe your mind is just tricking you into thinking you see a full thing, because when you try to actually see it, and drawing is seeing in a sense, then it's just you catch yourself in the lie very quickly. There's the apple, by the way, and I missed. The apple I saw was not as tilted. Anyways, this is just a whole other ramble. Sorry about that. I will continue to draw the dog, not the apples. But yeah, I feel like maybe doing some type of stylized art, because then, well, for the first, basically, first off, I cannot draw realistically at all, but especially with watercolor, because that's just, it's so hard to control, right? So I might just do some research some styles, some simplified styles, some comic book styles, or not comic book, but some type of cute style, so I can make all the forms simpler, so I can portray something that hopefully has a meaning, of course. Like it's a valuable memory for her, like just having the dog. So I wanted to, I don't know how they had it, but I have had dogs my entire life, until I was grown up, and everybody who has had dogs can kind of know how a relationship with a dog is. So if I can try to mimic that or show that in the composition, that would be perfect. Yeah. That's also why I kind of want to try to bring her in, so it's like both of them in one. I feel like that would bring bring more emotion in, right? There's so many small bugs just crawling on my, well, probably on me as well, but my sketchbook, I just gotta flick them away sometimes. They're crawling on the dog. Go away. Time is flying when I'm drawing and just speaking. I was not, I've barely done. Over counting the apple, I've done 6 thumbnails. I'll just show you the last of that page actually. We just did one by my pointy finger here. That was probably the last one you haven't seen. It was just a very quick one where I envisioned the dog looking up. So sort of, you can imagine her being out of frame to the top right, kind of, so you can see the dog looking at her behind the camera, kind of. And then on the next page, I'm just trying to continue that idea, but see if I can bring her in, maybe like the back of her head is sort of shaded away, so you can see she's there, but the focus is sort of, the lighting goes on the dog, maybe. It's a difficult one. I'm not sure if I'm that much of a fan of this. Could work. Yeah, that could work. But the perspective is a little bit too flat. If I'm gonna do that, I need to be over the shoulder of her. Yes, over the shoulder. And see the dog excitedly, probably in action towards her, you know. That does remind me, that would be kind of fun with a composition that is kind of curved. Oh, that's very difficult to explain. Would be nice to bring some of her expression in as well. So the composition I was thinking about is something like this, but if we're going with something like that, I want to make it more movement, like more, oh, more like it's captured just as it happens, kind of. This feels now a little bit staged, but of course it's just a thumbnail, so I'm not gonna blame myself for that one, but that's sort of like, that would be the clean-up sketch, you know, trying to make it more fluid. What if I try a first-person one? I can see something in my head, like the dog sort of jumping up in her arms in first person. But that's kind of emotional as well. Let's just do it as a thumbnail. Just to get it out. looks like a zombie, like zombie hands. And also, if you're gonna do that towards dog, like first person, you would have your hands more like welcoming, not like you can see the zombie hands. Sorry for not talking, I just tried to focus on the composition, but I'm just not able to sketch clearly. I just need to practice. It's very rough and it's very not descriptive, or like descriptive. It's not very clear what I'm trying to draw. By the way, the one pictures he has is sort of like this one. And could be an idea to keep it like that as well, but at the same time it would be fun to sort of try and capture memory, like try to capture a very happy memory, kind of. I'm sorry, this ASMR video is probably not as fun to listen to, because I'm just trying to yeah, you know. Anyways, you can feel my pen giving out a little bit now. And sadly, I didn't bring more. So these are the sketches for today. And maybe I will come back in post or as a YouTube sort of comment, or those community posts, and add it whenever I'm finished, maybe, depending on how well I do, kind of. I hope you've enjoyed this.